Football is a game of opinions, isn't it? It's what we all love to do down the pub, in the stands, or on the sofa. We debate, we argue, and we passionately defend our heroes. The question of who is better between two world-class players is the lifeblood of our sport. It fuels countless conversations and keeps the game alive long after the final whistle. The Messi versus Salah debate is a modern classic, pitting a legend who has defined an era against a player who has reached the absolute pinnacle of his powers. It's a fascinating clash of styles, careers, and legacies that captures the imagination of fans across the globe, from Buenos Aires to Liverpool. Two different paths to greatness. On one hand, Lionel Messi, destined from his first touch, a true prodigy who rewrote the history books. On the other, Mohamed Salah, a less straightforward journey, perseverance, finding the right club. Let's start with the man they call La Pulga, the Flea. Lionel Messi. Even saying the name feels like you're talking about footballing royalty. He's the little Argentinian magician who joined Barcelona as a boy. He became the greatest player in their history, if not the history of the entire sport. His balance is almost supernatural, the ball seemingly glued to his left foot as he weaves past defenders as if they weren't there. For years at Barcelona, he was the system itself, a goal scorer, a playmaker rolled into one magnificent package. Now, having conquered Europe, he's taken his talents to Inter Miami in the MLS, continuing to sprinkle his stardust and show that class is permanent, no matter where you play. Then you have the Egyptian king, Mohamed Salah. What a player he has become at Liverpool. When he first arrived in England with Chelsea, few could have predicted the sheer force of nature he would become under Jurgen Klopp. At Anfield, he transformed from a speedy winger into one of the most ruthless and clinical forwards in world football. His explosive pace, combined with an incredible hunger for goals, has seen him shatter record after record for the Reds. Salah is a phenomenon, a player who carries the hopes of not just a club, but an entire nation on his shoulders. And he does it with a smile and an unwavering dedication to his craft. When you look at the raw numbers, the scale of Messi's career is simply staggering. Across his time with Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, Inter Miami, Argentine national team, his goal and assist tallies are in a dimension of their own. When you talk about the greats, you have to talk about the silverware. Trophies are the currency of greatness, and Lionel Messi's vault is overflowing. His trophy cabinet is simply breathtaking. La Liga titles, Champions League crowns, domestic cups in Spain, domestic cups in France. He has dominated club football for almost 2 decades, but perhaps the most significant was finally lifting the World Cup with Argentina in 2022. That moment completed his story and cemented his legacy. On an individual level, his 8 Ballon d'Or awards, 91 goals in a single calendar year in 2012. Barcelona's all-time leading scorer, La Liga's all-time leading scorer. Messi didn't just play the game, he changed it. Mohamed Salah has been the driving force behind Liverpool's modern era. He spearheaded the team that brought Liverpool its first league title in 30 years. He played a crucial role in winning the Champions League. He won the FA Cup. He won the League Cup. For his country, he led Egypt to the African Cup of Nations final. He carried the team on the world's biggest stage. Salah has iconic moments and tangible success. Golden Boot 3 times. Record for most goals in a 38-game Premier League season. Liverpool's all-time leading Premier League goal scorer. While his trophy haul isn't as vast as Messi's, Salah's achievements are monumental in context. The true beauty of this debate lies in how differently these two players approach the art of scoring goals. Watching Lionel Messi is like watching a grandmaster at work. He seems to see the game in slow motion, anticipating movements and seeing passes that no one else can. His style is built on impossible close control, a low center of gravity, and a deceptive burst of speed. He doesn't just beat players, he sends them the wrong way, often leaving a trail of defenders on the floor. Messi is a conductor, orchestrating play from deeper areas, capable of splitting a defense with a single pass just as easily as he can score a hat-trick himself. His famous dinked finishes are a work of art, pure finesse over power. Mohamed Salah, on the other hand, is a different kind of artist, one who paints with explosive power and devastating speed. His game is built on directness. When Salah gets the ball on the right wing, the entire stadium holds its breath. You know exactly what he wants to do. Cut inside onto that lethal left foot. Yet, despite its predictability, defenders are still powerless to stop it. His strength on the ball is vastly underrated, allowing him to hold off challenges while traveling at full tilt. Salah is an assassin in the final third, a player who thrives on getting into goal-scoring positions and finishing with ruthless efficiency. He's all about pace, power, and precision. Their impact on their respective teams also highlights their differences. For much of his time at Barcelona, Messi was the sun around which the entire team orbited. Everything flowed through him. He was the primary creator and the primary goal scorer, a burden he carried with unbelievable ease. So, after all is said and done, who gets the nod? It's the million-dollar question. If you are judging purely on the entirety of a career, the weight of trophies, the sheer volume of goals, and assists, the number of years spent at an otherworldly level, then the argument for Lionel Messi is almost unassailable. He has won everything, broken every record, and has a legitimate claim to being the greatest footballer to have ever played the game. His consistency over nearly 2 decades puts him in a category of his own. For many, he is the benchmark against which all other forwards will be measured for generations to come. However, football isn't just played on spreadsheets. If the question is about who has been the most electrifying and dominant force in the world's most competitive league over the last half-decade, then Mohamed Salah has an incredibly strong case. He arrived at Liverpool and immediately became a global superstar, leading them to glory with a hunger and intensity that was breathtaking to watch. The impact he had on that club, and on the Premier League as a whole, is immense. For a period, he was simply unplayable. A force of nature who guaranteed goals every time he stepped onto the pitch. His journey to the top makes his success all the more remarkable. What makes each player so beloved by their fans is about more than just their on-pitch exploits. For Messi, it's the fairy tale. He was the small boy from Rosario who overcame a growth hormone deficiency to become the king of world football. He plays with a childlike joy, a purity that reminds us why we all fell in love with the game in the first place. For Argentina, he is a godlike figure who finally delivered the one trophy they craved most. He is a hero to millions in Egypt and across the Arab world, a symbol of hope and proof that you can reach the very top through hard work and humility. In the end, perhaps there is no single truth. The real answer is that we have been incredibly fortunate to witness both of them play. Choosing between them is less a matter of statistics and more a matter of taste, like choosing between the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Do you prefer the sublime, intricate artistry of Messi, or the explosive, direct brilliance of Salah? There is no wrong answer. This debate, and others like it, is what makes football the greatest sport in the world. It's about passion, loyalty, and the sheer joy of watching two masters at the peak of their craft. And long may it continue. The debate mirrors a changing of the guard in world football. For over a decade, the conversation was Messi and Ronaldo. Now, new heroes have emerged, and the discussion has evolved. Salah's consistency and record-breaking seasons for Liverpool put him in the top bracket. He represents the new wave of attacking superstars, lighting up the Premier League and the European stage.